Hello everybody, this is Jerry Mateo within the DAW. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Synthesizer V Studio version 2. Now this version is a completely revamped and reworked version of its software. If we just take a look at the original UI on version 1, you can see that it had significant differences in its overall UI. The color was different and it actually loaded a little bit slower. Version 2, on the other hand, has new voicings, updated voicings, and a much more modern and updated UI, along with the ability to utilize your GPU and CPU in a much more efficient manner where it loads voices a lot faster. You also have different options for the vocal modes now, where now you can have clear, soft, airy, powerful, passionate, solid, light, as well as the original parameters all built in here. You now have more retake options, which means you can now do expressions for the vibrant, refined, raw, rigid, as well as just all retakes, the timing for the phonemes, and the timbre and pitch controls. It's all really cool, and all you do is select it, and you can control everything and select between the takes. I have a rendition of Greensleeves. It's a folk song, and I have just the first few passes that I've already written down inside of Synthesizer V Studio 2. Now, I am using Solera version 2 and Solera version 1, which is the original voice. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that when I upgraded to Synthesizer V Studio version 2, Solera version 1 sounded different. And I guess that's because even though it is the same vocal, it's using a newer engine in the software. Upgrading into version 2, there was some significant upgrades from even that. So if you are using older voices, it will be compatible and it will have a slight improvement because the overall software is better. But upgrading to the second version of it is a very big difference. So let's just take a listen. Now, keep in mind that I am rendering this in real time. Even though it's not hitting my CPU very hard, I do notice that sometimes it is taking a little bit of time to keep up. When I have this as a standalone piece of software, I do not get that artifact at all. You could hear it in this recording. Every so often you hear like little cracks or pops. You don't hear that at all when you use this software standalone. I think that's just because the DAW already has a bunch of MIDI tracks. There's a ton of libraries being triggered all at once, and it's triggering a bunch of samples. So I think it's that. But when you use this standalone, you don't get any artifacts. Another thing is I do recommend going into your rendering pool and rendering this down, because once you render it down, it does sound significantly different and a lot better. You get none of the artifacts whatsoever. But looking at the vocal, let's just take a listen to it, right? So we have it here on this top section, and we're going to click here so we don't have to go through my DAW. If we go right here to the very beginning,
unless my love you do me wrong to cast me out discourteously.
I really like that, especially right here, discourteously. Let's listen to version 1 of Solera. This is just a copy paste.
Cast me out discourteously.
Listen to that. So that cast me out discourteously. You can even see it here where it kind of jumps very aggressively. And the discourteously doesn't sound very natural. It just sounds like discourteously. It sounds very good, but it still has like a disconnect.
To cast me out discourteously.
Right? It sounds very good, but it's still a little bit synthetic. Version 2, on the other hand,
to cast me out discourteously.
you hear that, like the discourteously, it ends softly.
Sleep.
There's a different type of enunciation. And
Cast me
It's very soft and very natural.
Do me wrong to cast me out discourteously.
And you can actually see it. It's significantly smoother. And listening to this part, right? We'll listen to the original.
Wrong to cast me out discourteously.
Right, listen to cast.
Wrong to cast me.
Sounds good, but it's a little bit harsh, right? Let's listen to version 2.
Wrong to cast me out.
Listen to that cast. That's a completely different way of saying it.
Wrong to cast me out discourteously.
I mean, it's really good. And of course, you can extend certain words, like right here, your, right?
Hiding in your company.
That sounds amazing. Version 1.
For I have loved you well and long, delighting in your company.
And right here, long, delighting. It just sounds a little bit meh.
And long, delighting in your company.
A little bit just not that great. Version 2, though.
And long, delighting in your company.
You listen how soft it goes into those words, right? Watch.
Long, and long,
Right, that's very well and long. It's kind of like just a little bit robotic.
and long,
That alone is just so good. I like it. And then, of course, you can pitch everything up and down. I found that pitching everything up was very good with Solera, but you can do other things too. Something I like to do sometimes is I will unmute this vocal and I can pan them left and right.
delighting in your company.
And you can even hear how it's enunciating and reproducing the words differently. For me, I'm a very big fan of this. There are some tips and tricks that I've learned over time. When you have a word that you want to extend the phoneme on or the enunciation section on, you put a minus sign. Like listen to this your,
In your company.
right? Well, if I got rid of this,
In your company.
it doesn't sound as natural, right? But if I do a plus sign, it'll extend it. So it'll be like company will be company with a plus sign. A plus sign with the your, it
In your
sounds a little weird. So if I do a minus sign, it'll extend this out.
in your company.
And I can even do some little tweaks here. I can say, right here, I want to adjust the timing just a touch, right?
In your company.
And that did a really good job of fixing that, right? The company wasn't all there. And then I just selected those two takes, or those two little chunks, and did a new take.
Long delighting in your company.
That sounds very good. Let's listen to Solera version 1.
Long delighting in your company.
Like you hear that, right? It's like this very robotic.
Delighting in your company.
What's crazy is that it still sounds really good. It's probably the best AI vocal I've used. But then version 2 comes out.
Delighting in your company.
And it sounds so natural. It sounds real. If I even bypass all the processing, I'm not doing a lot.
Green sleeves was oh my joy. Green sleeves was my delight.
I'm just doing some EQ, right? And then I'm doing some compression.
Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me out discourteously. For I have loved you well and long.
And then and then a little bit of delay and a little bit of reverb. I really like PSP AudioWire delays and reverbs. I think they sound absolutely amazing. So I'm just slapping those on, and it's sounding great. I'm using Pro Q4 because it's a really good clean EQ. I'm using Kive Audio's Complexer. I'm using Kive Audio's Complex because it's one of the best compressors I've ever used. And then I'm using some of my favorite delays and reverbs. And that's it. That's the entire signal chain. And we're getting this out of it. And there you have it. I think they are knocking it out of the park. My friend Derek Olds, he grabbed a copy of this. He's over at Best Sound LA. He loves it. He does vocal production all the time. And he's like, this thing's amazing. Now, there are lots of voices. And I think right now they're about $80 a pop. And if you have any previous voices, you get the upgrades for like $19, right? But when I upgraded, I automatically got a couple voices, right? So I have 902, Natalie 2, Mai 2, and Solera 2. I haven't upgraded Kevin, or I think that's the last voice I have, but I'm very happy with these. I really like this. To me, Solera 2 is probably the best vocal I've used, but I really like Natalie and Mai. Keep in mind that some vocals will be in different languages. So like Mai, I believe, is in Chinese, but can be changed into English or Japanese. Same thing with Solera. I think Solera is automatically English, if I remember that correctly. But it says right here, default. Right? English defaults. We have different languages, even Spanish. It's amazing. I mean, everyone's talking about it right now, but it is well worth your time to try out. I would recommend getting the Pro version. It's definitely worth it. The Studio, I believe it's called Synthesizer V Studio version 2 Pro. It's well worth your money. It's an investment. And in my opinion, it's gone above this is great for demo tracks. This is now getting to the point where this is great to use in a track, period. Anyway, this is Jeremy Tauth in the DAW. I will leave a link down below, and I will see you guys later.